lower abdominal belly breathing. This is a really great technique to not only reactivate the lower abs after potential surgeries or trauma to the body, but also with helping reduce your anxiety, with helping your body turn off its sympathetic nervous system and get more into your parasympathetic nervous system, meaning out of fight or flight and into rest and digest. So when we live in a chronic state of stress, our bodies adapt to how our systems work best. If you think about if we were running from a tiger, you're not going to be digesting food nearly as much. Your reproductive organs are not going to be working as well, and your rationalization is not going to be working as well. It's going to be fight or flight, high stress, high level cortisol, all that kind of stuff. And it's also going to create tension in the muscles. And so when we can get into the lower abdominal breathing, not only is it going to help us engage our abs better, hello, that's a win, but it's also going to help with our hips, it's going to help with our nervous system, and so many other things. So let's get into the breathing patterns and work on it together. So onto your back, I want you to focus on breathing into the lower abs right across your bladder or your uterus. And it works well if you place your hands on your belly. Naturally, I want you to just take one natural breath. And notice, where does it go? Does it go into your lower abdomen? Does it go into your abdomen in general? Or does it get stuck up underneath the collarbones into your breast tissue? And while you breathe, just notice, where does the breath go? And allow for that to just communicate with you what's going on in your body with stress and tension. Now, on your next big inhale, I want you to breathe into your hands and expand your belly as big and wide as you possibly can. And then on your exhale, let it deflate all the way from your pubic bone up into your rib cage. Like you're trying to let a balloon go. So inhale, inflate the balloon over the abdomen. Feel it expand and get nice and wide. And then on the exhale, deflate from the bottom of your pelvis all the way up. Feeling those lower abs engage. Your low back is connected to the ground, imprinting your spine, and focusing on tightening up through the pelvis up into your ribs. Rather than trying to close off and crunch down, we are pulling up and in, okay? Bracing against our hands. So we're gonna do that one more time. Big inhale, you're going to pause, feel that inflation happening. Exhale, let it go. Deflate from the pubic bone. All the way up. Okay? Now the next piece is, feel free if you need to do that more than 3 times. By all means, do it as often as much as you need to. It's a really good thing to add into the beginning of any workout, or anytime you feel high levels of stress. Maybe something you do before bed, or something you do when you first wake up. Your next piece is that we're going to create a little bit of resistance. So trying to activate the lower abs while belly breathing. So you're going to place your peace fingers, stick them together. You're going to place it on the inside of your iliac crest. So that front of your hip, that really bony part of your hip protrusion, feel around. You'll probably find it at some point, right where your underwear line is. And then you're going to come inward slightly, right where you feel a little bit of tension potentially if your abs are active. And if they're not super reactive, you might feel a little bit, it might feel a little bit squishy. You're going to push down into that, and I want you to push back. Like you're trying to push your bladder up into your fingers, okay? Now we're going to breathe into the lower abs at the same time, keeping that resistance, pushing into the fingers while you inhale, inflating the balloon. Now keep that tension as you exhale, do the same thing. Keeping the tension against the fingers, trying to push down into the bladder or the uterus. Try that 2 more times. Inhale, inflate. Push in. Notice if you start to lose any tension in your fingers. Exhale, push down and let go. And 1 more time. And let go. Excellent. Slow release of your hands. Try that again without your hands and breathing into the belly, noticing if you can create pressure and tension across the lower abdomen 1 more time. Bracing without having to push down, but maybe you can even just feel that tension. Exhale. And again, feeling the tension across. And so this is a great way to train activating your lower abs before you do things like leopard crawls or planks or tabletop positions or really any kind of ab work, including squats, deadlifts, presses, anything that you want to avoid that flaring of the rib cage and flaring of the low back, which is pretty much every exercise we do. So that's something to really be mindful of. And it's a great way to start off any workout. Add that in, do 3 to 5 reps of both, and then you should be starting to activate the abs. If you can't do this on the first time around, give yourself some credit, give yourself some grace that we're reworking and rewiring muscles that maybe haven't been worked or turned on in a really long time. So give yourself some space in that healing and in that process. That is your lower belly breathing to start off your day.